Hey guys, welcome back to Tea with the Supreme Spotlight Sunday. I am Cass. I'm here with Savannah, Jules, and Ebony. Say hello, ladies.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
Hello, ladies.
You didn't get it that time. So today, our Spotlight Sunday, I wanted to talk about something. I was just looking up like random disorders because as a counselor, sometimes you just do that and you get down into like the black hole of the internet. So I found something called Alice in Wonderland Syndrome. And I'm like, like I've never heard something be called by a movie or a book before. So I thought we would learn about Alice in Wonderland Syndrome today. So what is Alice in Wonderland Syndrome? It is a rare condition that causes temporary episodes of distorted perception and disorientation. So people with Alice in Wonderland syndrome, this is why they call it that. So like a door would look like the size of a cup, or the cup would look like the size of a house. It's just like random distortions and hallucinations. So the episodes aren't really a result of the problem with your eyes. They're actually caused by the changes of how your brain perceives the environment you're in and how your body looks within that environment. So it can affect multiple senses, including vision, touch, and hearing. And a lot of people report, a lot of kids and young adults report losing sense of time when they are in an episode. So it does primarily affect children and adults, and a lot of people do grow out of the perceptions as they age, but there's still a possibility that they can experience these hallucinations as an adult, but it's more rare the older that a person gets. So Alice in Wonderland syndrome is actually also known as Todd syndrome because it was first identified in the 50s by Dr. John Todd, who's a British psychiatrist. The reason why it's called that is he noted the symptoms and recorded the syndrome closely resembling the episodes of the character Alice in Alice in Wonderland. That's where AWS came from. So some of the common symptoms are migraines, size distortion, perceptual distortion, and time distortion, and sound distortion. Some people report loss of sensation in their arms or their hands or their feet or their legs. And there's no real known cause of Alice in Wonderland syndrome, but a lot of doctors and psychiatrists and practitioners are trying better to understand it. Some of the causes are stress, cough medicine, use of hallucinogenic drugs, epilepsy, stroke, or a brain tumor. I'm curious what you guys think of what I've said so far.
That sounds intense and scary. I don't know, like maybe people who are used to experience it are like, oh, whatever, it's happening again. But I don't know, for somebody who's never experienced it, it freaks me out just thinking about it.
It's just something that happens, right? Like it's not something that goes away necessarily. So you could just continue to have random episodes.
Yeah. And that's the scary part because there's no like real treatment for the syndrome. It's kind of just managing the symptoms and handling them as the episodes as they come.
Yeah, which managing is insane. I mean, like I'm reading right here that managing is just reassuring yourself or your loved ones that the symptoms aren't harmful. Like, how helpful is that? I get it, but like when you're experiencing it, someone being like, well, just know it's not real. Nothing's gonna hurt you. That is not helpful.
That's like telling a schizophrenic that everything's okay when they're in the midst of a psychotic, like an active psychosis.
I've been around individuals who were on hallucinogenic substances, and for them to recognize that what they are experiencing is not real, it's not something that's easy to do. So if your brain is interpreting it that way, how are you supposed to be like, yeah, but it's okay, it's not really there, it's not really the way it is? Like that's got to be such a hard thing to deal with. And then to know just it might happen again, and then it'll happen again.
the unpredictability is what would cause me so much anxiety. And I feel like that could lead to so many more mental health issues.
It's just the more we delve into mental health, the more we delve into the DSM, the more we do that, it terrifies me and unnerves me. It excites me. It's a fine balance, a little dance, if you will. And it makes me so concerned for the profession, for those that are not doing the proper things and taking the proper steps to stay continually educated about what's happening, measuring their efficacy as they go forward. Because when I read things like this, or when I hear things as you introduce these in our Spotlight Sundays, I am in awe of how much we do not know, right? When we start talking about the whys and the hows and the things of that nature, I am just in awe. And I think things like this help me to remember to stay grounded, that there's always room for growth, for improvement, so that you make yourself aware of things like this, because this is so unheard of for me, if that even makes sense.
Is this in the DSM?
No. So is it in the DSM?
One of the things that I just read about said it alluded to the DSM, is it not?
I didn't think it was. Hold on. Let me pull up the DSM.
We have to fact check
We're going to fact check right now.
But
live.
as you're doing that, I'm looking at a journal article that it's a, meta-analysis of other, I guess, research on this. And it says that treatment should be directed at the suspected underlying condition, although reassurance that the symptoms themselves are not harmful seems to suffice in about 50% of the cases, which blows my mind. But I mean, I guess.
It is not in the DSM. Confirmed. It is not in the DSM-5. And I was looking at the different ways that it could be diagnosed, like MRI scans. I don't know if you've ever had an MRI. Those machines are freaky, because you're literally in this tight little machine, and there's a couple blood tests that they can do to rule out viruses or infections that could be causing the symptoms of AWS. But if you're scared of needles like me, I'm weird. I could get a tattoo like a champ, but I hate getting my blood drawn. Medical needles just freak me out. So if you're constantly being poked and prodded, that's traumatizing within itself, just the diagnosis process.
MRIs are hard too, because, depending on what kind of machine you're in, they can be really loud. And for something like this, which coincides with migraines, I know I got several. I was having chronic intense migraines, I think, due to the car accident I was in, and I had to keep getting MRIs. And you're in there for half an hour to 40 minutes with this loud whirring machine, and it does not help at all. It's really aggressively irritating. And yeah, but I have since been in these little donut looking ones that are so fancy and way nicer. So if you can get one of those, that's the way to go.
Yeah, I've done the open air, so the open air ones are nice. Unfortunately, no MRI is great. Let's just be honest. That's a long time to be there for them to scan your body like ET or something. But anyway, okay, so this was a little difficult on a couple levels, because I've never seen Alice in Wonderland. Close your mouth, Cass.
You've never read it, never seen any iteration of it, nothing?
I've only watched bits and pieces.
Of which
this is our turn to clown on you now.
Okay.
Which is why
all
I'm
the tips
sharing
you gave us about flipping reading Rainbow. How have you never seen Alice in Wonderland?
Okay, again, that's why I said it, so you could have your time to share.
We get our moment.
And I've never read. Come and think about it, I've never read the whole book. I've read bits, pieces, but I don't think I've ever just sat down and I saw, what was it? Who was it? Johnny Depp? Is that the one?
He was in the most recent one.
I think I saw 10 minutes of that.
The live version.
I haven't seen that one.
This was old. This is not. Maybe it wasn't him. Anyway, I've seen 10 minutes of a version, maybe. So this was a little harder for me to. So I was trying to Google a synopsis of Alice in Wonderland. Might as well, this is the tea, so we're spilling the tea. So that was a little difficult for me to comprehend and digest completely.
So in terms of the DSM, so Alice in Wonderland syndrome is neither included in the DSM or the ICD-10 codes. The diagnosis of this syndrome is tricky. The symptoms of this syndrome may be confused with that of dissociative, psychotic, or perceptual disorders. So in terms of diagnosis, that's kind of what it would fall under, would be those three, depending on where the individual is at that present moment.
You learn something new every day. I did not know anything about this. Interesting. This is why I feel for people that go for either mental health support or they go for medical support, and people either say you're fine or there's nothing, because there's nothing identifiable. There's no diagnosing what you have, and what you have is just not consistent with what most people experience, or it's rare. And that is the most frustrating thing ever, when you know that there's something going on and whoever you're seeking help from can't pinpoint what it is. And they're like, you're doing great. And it's like, no, but I'm not, because if I was, I wouldn't be here. So I imagine it's got to be really frustrating.
Exactly. So I didn't find a lot of resources. As you guys know, there's always I call it the SAMHSA hotline, because I don't know what else to call it. So the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration does have a hotline. So that's 1-800-487-4889 or 800-662-HELP-4357. They do a lot of treatment referral. So if you or anybody you know is experiencing these symptoms, I would definitely recommend reaching out to them, because they'll be able to help you find the right path of treatment for what you are going through or what your family member or friend is going through. So with that, do we have any final thoughts, ladies?
I'm gonna go watch Alice in Wonderland. No, I'm not.
Yes,
But I will.
You.
I will.
Which one? I know that. So the cartoon, I think, is the original, and it's got to be from like the 50s, I would imagine, back in the day. But I remember watching Alice in Wonderland through the Looking Glass, not the Johnny Depp one, whatever one was around when I was a child, with the Jabberwockies. I don't know if you guys seen that, but I was traumatized. I can't even tell you, but I know it was a scary movie for me at whatever age I saw it. But watch the cartoon one.
Yeah, watch the cartoon version.
I think I've only seen the cartoon version.
So with that, that is another Spotlight Sunday. As always, we will put the link in our website to the resources, and we will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.